Hello and welcome to another edition of the Prose Bros Visit Sunnydale. I am Eddie Cruz.
And I am Jeff.
And today we are doing Bad Eggs, Season 2, Episode 12 of Buffy.
Yeah.
Jeff, do you remember liking this episode?
Not particularly.
I loved it.
Really?
But at the same time, I remember there was like a craze surrounding like body snatcher movies around this time. I think maybe not this time, but there was a Invasion of the Body Snatchers movie with not Kiefer Sutherland, his dad, Donald Sutherland, but it was
the original
like
Watcher.
The original Watcher. Also in the original Invasion of the Body Snatchers, and in a remake in a different role. But I loved those ones, and The Faculty.
Yeah, I remember
a
watching
bunch of different ones.
Yeah, it was right around
that time. So I was into it. Yeah.
I just remember watching it and like, I want more vampires. I'm watching Buffy the Vampire Slayer for the fucking vampires.
I see where you're coming from with that. I believe that you're right, but at the same time, I don't know, a little like alien thingy coming out of an egg. That was pretty cool. I remember the ending of this being really gross.
I don't remember it being a shitty episode, mind you. I just remember it kind of like, it's okay.
I like the fact that there were like dual bad guys, and I didn't love the monster at the end, but I love the fact that the monster ate the other bad guys.
I don't even remember that.
No?
Nah.
This is a Texas. There are vampires in this episode,
Are
Jeff.
there?
Yes. You're just exhausted from a long day of school or something.
Am I?
Yeah.
I don't remember this episode.
Yeah.
I remember them having to take eggs home to care like their babies or something.
Yeah. And then I also remember the horrible stares they all give when they put a new alien on somebody's back. Like, they're all going to do it. Notice it. Like, whenever a bad guy grabs an alien, puts it on the back, they're always, like, looking out in the distance. It's pretty funny.
I'll pay attention to that.
Yeah.
Dude, have you seen Life?
No, is it good?
Yes.
Oh, my God. I've been wanting to see that so bad, but then I had a baby, and it made it really hard to do anything.
Well, it just came out. But
I've been, since that first trailer, I was like, oh, I want to see that. It looks like to me, it looks like what, The Thing meets, I don't know, Gravity or something.
Yeah.
Pretty sweet. I love both of those movies. Well, Gravity only once in the theater.
Yeah.
What do you think about that coming out the same time as Alien Covenant?
When is that coming out? Pretty soon?
Next month.
I don't know. We'll see how well.
It's like Dante's Peak and Volcano all over again.
I think that's fine. You can always have something to compare the other movie to. Life was fine. It has some issues, but overall, it's an entertaining movie.
How are Ryan Reynolds' sweet abs?
I don't think you get to see them.
No? Do you get to see Jake Gyllenhaal's sweet abs?
I don't think so either.
He gets sweet abs too sometimes.
I think this was abless.
Oh, man. I don't know about it anymore then.
Do you want to go watch the episode?
Yeah, probably.
In every generation, two Prose are born. Chosen to watch every episode of Buffy and tell you what they think about them. This is the Prose Visit Sunnydale. Season 2.
So what do you think of the episode, Jeff?
About the same going in. It wasn't the worst, but it's not the best.
I've come to terms with the fact that your opinion sways my opinion. So when you said this episode isn't going to be that good, I went into it thinking the same thing, and I think I came out of it thinking that too now.
Do you think it was like more so my opinion or the episode that was
I don't know, because I really remember liking this episode, but at the same time I liked all things Body Snatchers, And I have seen the episode a couple of times, but this time it felt kind of boring.
I don't remember how many times I've seen the episode. I think once previously. This might be the second or third time max.
Right on. Yeah. I remember liking it.
There's some things I liked in the episode. No, not, but at least I didn't think it was particularly memorable.
The Xander and Cordelia stuff is good in this episode.
That's good. I liked the characters of at least one of the Gorch brothers.
Yeah.
I think they were funny.
It was a neat idea to have two Western-made vampires. Kind of, that idea was pretty neat.
Something they've never done before.
Yeah.
So should we jump into what this is all about?
What happened this episode?
So it starts off in the mall with Joyce and Buffy. And I don't know what they're doing. I guess Buffy's mom, Joyce, is she getting dry cleaning or something?
She's picking up the dry cleaning, but apparently it's not. It's a priority of hers, but it's not the reason they went to the mall right before it closed.
Yeah, they show up like 10 minutes before.
Yeah,
right?
And she's like, all right, well, I'm going to go get some food. I'll order you something. You go get my dry cleaning. Even though I've never split up at the mall. Have you ever, I have if I'm like, I'm going to go get pants. You're going to go get a brooch.
If you show up like, and there's 15 minutes left, yes, but I don't think anybody would show up and be okay, you pick up the dry cleaning, I'll go get something to eat.
I'll go get whatever's left at the Chinese buffet that hasn't been eaten all day. That's just been sitting there.
Just the leftovers.
Yeah,
the greasy,
like that
lukewarm
corner of chow mein
leftovers.
Nobody wanted. What the fuck is in that red sauce? Is it sugar?
Yeah, so Buffy and Joyce split up. Buffy sees this, I guess, creepy-looking cowboy dude.
Yeah.
She instinctively knows that he's a vampire, I guess. So she follows him to an arcade. He reveals himself to be a vampire, and they fight.
Yeah. And she kicks his butt.
Kicks his butt, does not kill him, ends up running away. So after that, we get to see Buffy get grounded or scolded by Joyce.
Well, she comes back without the dry cleaning, so I think deservedly so.
Yeah, you're totally right.
Yeah. I mean, if I was like, hey, man, can you hand me that? And then you went and killed a vampire instead and never handed me that thing right there that I asked you to hand me, I'd be pretty pissed.
It's kind of a shitty position Buffy's in because she's
right?
a superhero that can't let anybody know, and she's a superhero that's getting grounded. It's like, well, I have a good reason.
Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that totally sucks.
It does.
So once all that happens, they get back at school, and we see Cordy and Xander again making out in a closet.
I think this scene was the best Cordy Xander making out scene. Like the whole idea of them just like arguing, then they touch hands on accident, and they're back to making out.
Because they don't like each other as people.
Yeah.
They're just
they repulse each other.
Well, they're physically attracted to each other, but I don't know if emotionally or mentally they don't get along at all.
Yeah.
Or
maybe it's just the fact that they're not supposed to get along, or not. It's just like taboo. I don't know. Probably not.
I always thought they genuinely don't like each other. Because Cordy is kind of annoying, and
I think
for Cordy,
Willow genuinely doesn't like Cordelia.
None of them really seem to.
But I don't know. I would assume that a 16-year-old boy would like her in the same way that you do.
Yeah.
She looks really good in that cat costume.
Yes, but does that mean you want to talk and be friends? And I don't think that's what Xander wants out of this particular relationship.
Yeah, maybe, yeah, you're right.
So they're, again, bickering. They have that good moment, funny moment where they touch hands and all of a sudden it sets everything off and they're making out again. After that, we see the classroom where it's, I guess, a sex ed class or health class of some sort where they're talking about sex and the dangers of sex, I guess.
It was kind of weird. Yeah, the end goal was to have somebody say, yeah, pregnancy, so they could hand out these eggs. and it seemed like they could have said anything, you know?
They did. It was really weird.
Or
yeah,
whatever.
and no talk of like you should wear condoms or
nothing. Not even a little bit. Did you have that talk in school?
Yeah, but it was really awkward because
It was super awkward.
It was super old lady, and like everybody was giggling, and
Did
she
they
was
separate the boys and the girls?
I don't remember.
I remember there was one where they separated the boys and the girls, and then like told us like about sexual assault.
I don't think I got that one.
No, maybe it's only the Mexicans. I
We
was
just-
like, all right, who's Mexican? All right, you go into this other room.
They that's racist.
Yeah, I know.
No, it was something that was more like it felt more like biology and scientific than it did like, okay guys, this is what you need to do to stay safe and not get people pregnant.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I think I remember that one too.
So anyway, it's a shitty sex ed class, and the point is to hand eggs out.
Yeah, and you have to take care of the egg. You can't bring it back broken.
So it's not a safety class, it's to teach responsibility then?
I'm guessing it's one of those shitty health classes where, like, you know, somebody that has straight A's might fail because they drop an egg. It's just a
Maybe.
shitty class.
Yeah. I don't know. Who knows what the fuck that was. Everybody gets eggs. They all meet up in the library, and Giles is doing research, reveals that the cowboy vampire is the Gorches. And they're, again, some badass cowboys who made their names by, like, I don't know.
Slaughtering a whole Mexican village.
Yeah, when they're human. So, you know, they're some bad eggs. Get it?
Yeah.
Get it? They're bad eggs. Like
Yeah. I was going to say bad hombres.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that'll work too. So after that, we get to see a scene. Tons of making out in this episode.
Tons of making out.
Buffy's
Wet
on
kisses
patrol.
too. I don't like that.
I didn't really. I guess I wasn't listening that hard.
It's all.
I now have headphones on, and it's not doing anything for me. So yeah, pretty gross. While another gross thing about this whole scene is Buffy and Angel are supposed to be on patrol. So when they're making out, and the Gorch brothers are just watching
them and talking to each other.
Yeah,
Which were pretty great dialogues.
I thought so.
Yeah. So why aren't we attacking them right now? Because I got a plan. They had better accents than Kendra.
Yeah,
I
still
think that
probably
worked out.
both fake.
Still probably really fake. Yeah.
I did like the younger Gorch brother. Is that Angelus? Well, what's he doing kissing the Slayer?
Why is she not slaying right now?
Like, he's really confused by that. I don't know. It's ridiculous, unnecessary, but funny. So
Yeah, absolutely. And it also makes you think, like, why did they survive this long? It's because they had each other's backs.
is it?
I think so.
I guess they're dumb. Well, one's dumb and one's less dumb.
Yeah, I guess so. Well, the one you were talking about is dumb, and the other one's older, and he likes to be very boastful, it seems. But yeah, he's still dumb.
So after patrol, Buffy's home, and you see a close up of her egg, and there's what I would call maybe like a little appendage or something poking its way out.
Yeah, like a little straw, a straw-like thing coming out, like an antenna.
Yes. Oh, yeah, maybe I thought it was like some sort of, I don't know, hand.
Penis?
No. Well, it could be. I don't know. Fucking face
Little-
hugger
little face,
anatomy.
yeah.
So she wakes up, and in the morning, her egg's fine. The little hole is gone.
Yeah, it's
she
got a
never
little
saw
bit
it.
of, like spackle on it.
Yeah, tons of spackle. Back in the library, Buffy and Willow just seem tired. You see,
Yeah, they seem exhausted.
there's something up with them. Xander makes this joke about how it's about child care, and the whole point of it is he cheated in his assignment.
Yeah,
He's fine because he hard-boiled his egg.
yeah, and everybody else is feeling the effects of whatever that little antenna did, which is, I'm guessing, like, sums up the person or something. I don't know. Who knows?
Maybe
Maybe only the writer, only Marty Noxon.
What do you think it was? Do you think that's what it? Because that's kind of an interesting idea. I didn't really think.
I'm pretty sure it was called Body Snatchers movie that came out in the early 90s, like 92 or 93. These little veins came out of an egg, just like this, but they surrounded the person's entire body. And then using that like makeup, they created another body over here. And then when that body was whole, that body would die. It was kind of like they reproduced you. So this is nothing like that.
This one just makes you tired somehow?
I don't know, man. Yeah, it just kind of like goes like, oh, let me get the temperature of this one. Oh, 88.6 degrees. That's perfect. And then like the next day.
You're pointing at the desk like it's touching something, and what is it touching?
It'd be the egg using that little egg penis to touch Buffy.
Where? Like on the forehead? I'm just curious to see.
Yeah, like right under her elbow.
Imagined up the nose. You know, get all up in the brain.
Like, touches her and goes like, oh, she's perfect. And then the next day, it tries to get up on her.
Okay, so it does, in fact, try to get up on her.
Puppet Master. That was another one that had Donald Sutherland and
is that another Body Snatcher?
Yeah,
thing?
it's a Body Snatcher movie.
Okay.
No, it was a good one.
All right, I thought we were just naming Donald Sutherland movies.
Not Puppet Masters. Not the Puppet Master. It's Puppet Masters.
Never seen it.
Or Puppet Master. I don't know. It's got Donald Sutherland.
So the egg hatches the next day and tries to attack Buffy, or at least take control
straight
of her.
at her. It was very, very reminiscent of the Alien, like face hugger. 100%.
And it looked like one.
Yeah, it looked like one.
I'm pretty sure. Well, I'm not sure, but I can imagine in the script it said alien-looking face hugger-like creature attacks.
Yeah,
Buffy.
Absolutely. So it comes out of the shell and goes straight for her face. It misses. It gets on the wall. She catches it at one point, throws it on the ground, and then she grabs a pair of scissors and stabs it, and then stabs it like 7 or 8 more times.
Making a lot of commotion and causing Joyce to come in.
Yeah.
And she thinks that Buffy just came home, which she did.
She did just come home. Why are you dressed? Why are you fully dressed? She says. And Buffy's like, I'm not. You're stupid, Mom. You're a stupid mother.
I think
you failed as a mother.
I think that would be funnier for us. But Buffy is a good person.
Yeah.
And ultimately, this is what's funny about the episode too, is while she is a superhero, she's fighting vampires. In most of these scenes, she's really just using that as an excuse to go and make out with Angel. Yeah. She's not really fighting any vampires, really, except for at the mall. Yeah. So in the room, she calls Willow. Willow dismisses it as like, oh, it's. Remember those vampires that you saw earlier? They probably put that egg there, which Buffy agrees to way too easily. I don't know if she's tired or what's going on, but she'll, oh yeah, they probably totally came to my house because they found my secret identity and where I lived and got invited in somehow. I don't know.
Yeah, it makes absolutely no sense, but plot point, she accepts and moves on.
Yeah. After that, we get to see, is that when we see the security guard in the basement of the school and he gets attacked by the old teacher, which previously we don't know what happened to. He disappeared somehow. There was some sort of mention. Did they say he had cancer or something at one point?
I have no idea, but I would imagine that he was the first one infected, right?
Yeah.
If he's passing them all out. He didn't seem infected in that first scene at all, in any way, shape, or form. And it seems like once you're infected, you're like kind of...
You're basically like stoned and not looking at somebody. You're just lost in thought.
You don't understand humor. You're kind of like stoic. Yeah, it's just like you can play that song, Hello Darkness, My Old Friend.
That was pretty weird.
Sound of Silence.
Yeah, he's having this conversation with the students, and anybody else who gets that is just like, they're completely zoned out. They're no longer a person. That's fucking weird. I guess. I don't know.
It was weird. It just doesn't make much sense.
Nope. But I guess we'll move past that. So after we see the security guard get knocked down in the tunnel,
He got knocked down, and he didn't get up again.
either after that or before, I'm losing track of when Xander tries to eat his egg, right?
Yeah, he rolls it. It's a very I've seen a couple of people do this rolling trick. Mm-hmm. I think that's horrible.
Why?
You're shattering the egg. Like you're increasing the chances of having little pieces of eggshell on your egg. The better thing to do is to crack it once and try to get as big of pieces as you can off of that son of a bitch as quick as possible.
Doesn't it depend how old the egg is? If the egg is older, if it's a fresh egg, then you'll have it all in little chunks and shards. If it's an older egg, which I heard that's when you should hard boil them, they come out a lot easier. I roll them.
Really?
Yeah.
That's insane to me. No, and I boil eggs like every day for lunch.
You're fine with body snatchers. That may be a thing,
fuck
but rolling a hard boiled egg.
Yeah, are you fucking retarded? What if you get like a rock in it or something?
I have never gotten a rock in it. Where am I rolling this?
I think you're doing this strictly because you enjoy rolling the egg.
There's no rocks on my counter, and that's,
What if I put some there? I'm going to go put rocks on your counter so you stop rolling eggs like a maniac.
No, all right, go for it. Do it. Do it.
Anyway.
He tries to eat
Buffy. Yeah, so Xander
tries to eat the egg. They all go to the library, and they're all, what the fuck? What's going on, Giles? Because you always know everything, and we can't do anything without you. And that's when Cordy and Willow attack Xander and Buffy.
Yeah, you see Cordy's backpack and the eyes of her teddy bear backpack get poked out by two little egg penises.
Face hugger penises. And then they throw them in the closet together. A lot more closets. Maybe, I don't know what's going on with this.
There's a lot of closets.
A lot of closet scenes. Yeah. And then we see these eggs that are supposed to take over Buffy and Xander, and Buffy puts a stop to that right quick. So
they escape, and then they show another montage of them all getting shovels.
Oh yeah, they're getting.
It's like Willow gets infected, and then they show him getting shovels, and then it's like Giles gets infected, and then they show him all getting shovels.
It was like the lamest arming ceremony ever.
Yeah, you get a pickaxe. There's nothing left. This one's just a stick.
Well, they're using all these pickaxes, which I don't know where they got all of them.
School has 27 pickaxes.
Sunnydale is actually right next to a Home Depot.
Yeah,
they don't show it a lot, but
they didn't show that cutscene where they infected everybody at the Home Depot.
Yeah, it goes Bronze Cemetery, Home Depot, School. If you're mapping this out. So Joyce goes to talk to Giles. They kind of have a heart-to-heart where Joyce says that Buffy's a burden, which I thought was kind of fucked up.
Yeah, and he's all like, yeah, really? Look over there. And then he puts one of these face huggers on her back.
Yeah, and then
I guess it'd be a lower back hugger.
See, but he was talking fine. He was still
yeah, he was fine. And then he looked up all weird and put it on the back. All of a sudden he doesn't need to look at people or aim.
Is it weird? It has to be some sort of weird hive mind thing where at any given time the mother can send something out to her little drones and they can act accordingly, and if not, they're just basic workers. That's the only way. Well, at least that's the first thing I could come up with. They don't really mention that in the show. I'm fucking reaching based on other hive body snatcher type things I've watched, but it's not really explained.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, whatever. I agree with you.
Yeah.
Any explanation's a good explanation in this one.
Sure. So Buffy and Xander get loose and they go down to the basement where they see all the drones, workers, students, what have you. They're using their Home Depot pickaxes to, I guess, bring out the mother or the head face hugger thing.
I guess
creature.
so. I'm not really sure what they're trying to do there. see that Jonathan is getting affected, they don't help him.
Well, they run out to see what's going on.
Yeah, he's like, and I mean, at this point they know what's going on. Have they tried pulling one off of a person? Like, they haven't tried anything like that. And they just go like, oh, well, now he can just lead us to the thing. And you find out that there's this gigantic booger monster under the ground.
Yeah, at this point they should know that it's on people's backs, and they're like,
yeah.
It could be like destroying poor Jonathan's brain and body, and they're all, fuck it, let's
And they
go.
went to the library, and the book is open to the page with the booger monster on it.
That was super convenient.
Yeah.
I love that.
And they don't even, they look at it, and they can tell, okay, that's a, like, floor, and he's under the ground. So wouldn't they think, oh, he must be in the basement?
That's a good point. I don't have a good answer for that, but Buffy and Xander are pretty dumb in this episode.
Yeah.
I do like the fact that they're like,
Buffy's
what should we do?
Horny mess, and then Xander's a horny mess.
Yeah, Buffy and Xander are one and the same. They're all horny dummies this episode.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I loved that. They're like, Giles would know, and they're all, oh, look, this book set to the page. It's a good thing he was studying this beforehand.
Looks like it got him. There's like a little eggshell. The prop department this episode was just like, are you fucking kidding me?
They're all, look, it's an eggshell. I bet he tried to roll it. Look how many small pieces there are.
Fucking maniac.
So they go down, and the Gorch brothers show up. There's this big fight at first between them, and then with all the little drones. And what ends up happening is Buffy goes down. It's not really a pit. I don't know how she gets down in there, but the hole that the drones are working to, I don't know what the fuck they're trying to do, dives down there. Off screen, we don't see. Off screen, Buffy fights this monster and beats the shit out of it, kills it, I'm assuming. Everybody turns back to normal. At the end, Giles is going around saying, like, guys, it was a gas leak, which didn't Snyder say that previously?
I mean, there's always, it seems like gas leak is like a go-to.
That's like a running joke.
When you call the people drones, I picture little hovercrafts like breaking the floor.
That's what it was, just a bunch of people with remote controls using drones.
Drones with little pickaxes and fire torches on them. Yeah, I don't know. The brother thing was really, really cool during that whole, like, get out. They start fighting, and they start fighting the other people. But then at one point, the dumb brother goes up to the booger monster and, like, starts, like, I don't know, like, kind of tickling it or playing with it.
I don't know what he was doing. He seemed definitely interested
like,
in this.
It was like he was playing with a child. And the booger monster was like, nope, and then sends a booger wrap around its neck and then pulls him in.
A booger tendril.
Yeah, booger tendril. And just pulls him in, and you hear him get, I guess, like, digested pretty quickly.
Sure.
And then Buffy grabs a pickaxe and just jumps right in there. And she doesn't get digested really quickly, and she manages to kill him. And then she gets out, but the vampire died? I don't really understand how... Did that monster have a stake in there? Like, are his teeth wooden?
Ah, shit. I don't even know.
Decapitate him? Like, even digesting the vampire wouldn't have killed him, right? Would that have killed him?
No, I'm not sure.
And his brother was all like, oh, my brother! That's my brother! And he's all like, that was your fault. But doesn't stay to even check if he can find his brother's body.
Yeah, I love that vampire because he seemed just to bounce whenever he felt like it. He's all, fuck this, I'm out of here.
Yeah.
Like, all these other vampires are like, the Slayer, let's kill her. And he's all, fuck this, I'm leaving.
He's like, I'm going to get a good plan in place before I do that. And I'm going to make sure I don't jump into anything I can't handle.
He's like, I want to be in another episode, motherfuckers. Can't be jumping around in this little Sarlacc pit looking motherfucker. I know Boba Fett. Those were all lines pulled straight from the episode.
Yeah. The entire last quarter of this episode was references to Star Wars.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's it.
Instead of the bronze, they went to the cantina.
Oh, shit. That's awesome.
We get stuff.
So ends with Joyce and Buffy at the school. Joyce was like, "Oh, what happened to you? You're supposed to be in the library." Buffy is like, "No, the gas leak, remember?" Buffy gets double grounded at the end and is just kind of fucked for saving the day.
Yeah. So she's like, fuck my life.
But
FML.
at the end, she's grounded, stuck in her room. We see the third time Angel and Buffy make out, but this time they're in her house and Angel is on the roof and Buffy's making out with him through the window. So she's listening to her mom in a way.
Yeah, kind of. She's like, it's like one of those, like, I don't know, own private fuck yous. Like, yeah, I'm grounded. Yeah, grounded. Wink, wink, wink.
I don't think it was like a fuck you. It was more like, well, I still want to make out with this dude.
Yeah, which is like a fuck you to her mom.
That's not.
No, it's not.
How do you think Angel got up there? Do you think he just jumped with one of his like log flowy leather coats? Just, I don't know.
And watch, like, this whole time in Buffy, all the vampires could float, but they just thought it was too lame. But he was actually floating. All Salem's Lot style.
Yeah, in the deleted scenes.
It's just vampires floating. Spike going, why am I floating?
That's a pretty awful accent right there.
Yeah. All of my accents are awful accents.
No, some of them are pretty good.
Oh, sweet. Thanks.
So, do you want to talk about any of the themes in particular, or just that it's a body snatching episode? I know earlier you said you liked it, but how do you think it compares to other stuff you've seen?
For TV, it's pretty good, I think. I mean, it's a little rushed, I guess.
I remember seeing, like, I don't know if it was like The Outer Limits or something like that. They'd always have episodes like this. And that seemed like it was done better, at least in my memory. This one I thought was, oh, it's Body Snatcher episode. Okay.
Right on. I like the fact that the Buffy episode actually showed the monsters, and I thought the monsters were okay. I don't know. Maybe if the actual props were better, I would have liked the episode more. It seemed a little bit lackluster. It doesn't have anything to pull me in, really.
Unless you're really into seeing Angel make out with Buffy.
Yeah, or like people staring off while doing things. Like if you're placing something on the table but you're staring at the door.
It didn't really add anything new to that whole like sci-fi genre, really.
No. I think that the Sander and Cordelia stuff was my favorite part of this episode.
I just like the Gorge brother conversation, really.
Those are pretty good.
I was thinking about this when watching the episode, because you see Angel and Buffy and their romance advance, and another big part is Joyce and Buffy and their relationship.
Getting worse.
Yeah, and how do you think, like, what do you think from Joyce's perspective? Because all she can really think about, at first watching it, like, you're like, Joyce is kind of being a bitch, she's doing this, but from her perspective, she has this teenager who won't listen, does poorly in school,
Just
never
got
does
kicked
what
out of-
she wants, so she's completely fed up. And at first I was like, why is Joyce being like this? But she does a good job portraying that, good job acting.
I think that, number one, the actress does a great job. And as far as Joyce, yeah, man, her kid just got kicked out of school for being a bad kid and is now causing more problems and is still not listening to her. At this point, I would have, I guess I'll find out in 14 years what I'll do.
Although what's weird is if you consider this as linearly right after the Ted episode, she can't cut Buffy a little slack from maybe thinking she killed somebody.
Not only thinking she killed somebody, but for that guy coming back and like attacking Joyce afterward.
Maybe she's just still pissed off about that.
And he's like missing.
They don't talk about that ever, but it's funny to think about if they remember what happened. It's like, she might still be pissed. She might hold a grudge against Buffy.
You could go as far as saying, like, 2 months ago, one of your teachers flipped out and held your friend in a room and then died.
Everything's
got decapitated.
Yeah, everything's just fine in Sunnydale.
Yeah. The next day, it's just like Kenny dying, restart. Like it didn't happen.
But some things they do remember, and they say, "Oh, remember when this happened? Remember this vampire?" And other stuff. It's like, Hellmouth.
Hellmouth.
But Joyce doesn't know that.
No, she doesn't. All she knows is antiques.
Joyce is kind of a
shit.
fucking moron, maybe.
I wouldn't say moron.
Oblivious?
Maybe. Oblivious. Like, she's got a lot on her plate. She's got to think about all the paperwork, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
She's a producer.
No.
She produced Buffy.
Technically. So, yeah. It has that theme in it. I don't think it really does much. It doesn't add a whole bunch. We just get another episode where Buffy is, quote, acting up. Joyce is mad at her, grounds her. Angel and Buffy are making out. The other Scoobies don't have a lot to do, except for Xander, who is making out with Cordelia whenever he gets a chance. Nothing really new in this episode, and I think that's part of the reason I don't like it.
Yeah.
I do like the score and the music overall. The tone was cool, but it didn't really do anything for me.
I'll stick with I didn't hate it. I don't think it was bad. It doesn't move anything forward, but I do like them body snatchers, man.
It's cool. It's like a neat little episode, but I think even right now we're like, well, what do we say that hasn't
already been said?
Yeah.
It would have been cool if Donald Sutherland was in it.
Would it?
No. He's really old now.
You're really into Donald Sutherland right now.
I just love that guy.
Kiefer Sutherland's really old.
Yeah, but he's ugly.
He played a vampire.
Best vampire movie ever.
I started watching Iron Fist.
Oh, I haven't seen that because I didn't pay for Netflix.
People are shitting all over it.
Because he's white?
That among other things, I don't quite know why they're shitting on it so much so far. Mm-hmm. We could talk about this later, but I'm like 3 episodes in, and I don't know if people just like to shit on things. I don't know if it gets worse or not.
People love to shit on things.
It's no Daredevil.
Right on.
Yeah.
Daredevil was pretty damn good,
yeah.
though. I don't know. I haven't seen anything that I've liked as much as I like Daredevil.
Yeah.
So.
I didn't like Jessica Jones at all.
I dug that one, but Daredevil, I mean, Vincent D'Onofrio just fucking really wrapped that one tight.
Oh, yeah.
Tight! It was too tight. I'm never going to do that again.
Even Jen, who doesn't really like those shows, and she just kind of half pays attention to it when Vincent D'Onofrio is playing Kingpin, she stops what she's doing to watch his performance. And I think that's saying a lot.
Yeah, that's how I gauge really, really good TV now, too. Watch my girlfriend.
You just stare at your girlfriend.
Yeah, and she's like, oh, she put down her phone? There's a good scene.
Yeah.
That's like, put down her phone? Oh, Jon Snow just won the battle.
There should be like an Academy Award or something. It's like, and the award for most amount of phones put down by girlfriends goes to
Meryl Streep all day long.
All right, well, we're going off the deep end here. Do you want to hear about the deaths, or do you have anything else to say?
No, I'm done.
Okay, so we'll talk about the deaths, which are, I guess, a little weird, maybe up for debate. So Buffy kills the mother. Mm-hmm. She kills, let's see.
The mother, by that, do you mean that big...
Yeah, I'm just calling the mother the
Bazoinga?
main... Yeah. The mother, demon, face hugger, whatever you want to call it.
The booger monster.
Yeah. She kills 2 other booger monsters and then 2 eggs.
Okay.
And then maybe the vampire brother dies. Right? Maybe?
Yeah, well, I would say that's a yes.
So I think as far as the story goes, he dies. But like you were saying, how does he die?
How does he die? He doesn't have to breathe.
So there might be 6 deaths, but do you even consider squashing eggs a death? They were hatching. This one kind of pissed me off. Just I couldn't define the deaths.
Well, I would say that when you kill the mother, that killed all those things. Mm-hmm. So the mother and those eggs and all that would count as 1.
But the eggs she squashed when they were hatching in the closet with Xander.
Then we'd have to start like picking up and like counting all the eggs she eats in the morning, because those are alive too at one point.
No, they're not alive.
No, they're not. I'm fucking with you.
My reasoning was just because they were hatching, so Does that count?
I don't think so.
I don't know. Then fuck it. Yeah. Eggs don't count. New rule. Killing eggs even as they're hatching does not count as a death. No. I hope this doesn't have to come back in the series because it's a stupid thing to fucking argue about.
Yeah. I would just say count it all as one. And you don't have to worry about even thinking about it again.
then let's not. So, 4 deaths. There we go.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. All right. See you later, guys.
Rocket ship. That's a horrible sign off.
Have you heard most of them? Like,